It's the Diamond K Show here on RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. A lot of things going on as always. I mean, it's never a dull moment. Let me say that. Before we get into the topics that I want to touch on, today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Icon Entertainment's Back to School Festival, featuring YFN Lucci live in concert. It all goes down Saturday, August 25th, 4 to 9 p.m. at the William Myers Pavilion, 4300 West Bay Avenue here in Baltimore. It is the Back to School Festival, and they want to make sure that all kids are right. Free book bags, free haircuts, free school supplies, plus live performances by YFN Lucci, Lil Key, Young Moose, Creek Boys, Starbucks, and more. Tickets available now. DTLR, Star Faces, Stash House, Music City, Miss Carter's Kitchen, and a lot of other places. More information, visit RadioOnFire.com or Facebook.com/RadioOnFire. So we got that going on. Kids are going to go back to school. I don't know, it's like, where did the summer go? I don't even know. Summer gone. So here's the thing. A lot of people know that I feel Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper. I'm serious now. Attitude aside, rap skill, I'm talking about success. But as I said, attitude aside. So some people may have an issue with her attitude. But she's on a rollout for the album. This is an album that fans have been waiting for like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? 4 years they've been waiting for this. Now, Nicki, of course we know, used to date Safaree. They were in a long-term relationship, and things did not end well. Now, when you have a relationship where things don't end well, and the people are in the public eye, you know, it really gets bad, because interviewers are gonna keep hounding you about your ex. What about your ex? How do you feel about your ex? XXX. And that's something that that both of them have had to deal with. Both of them. Now, Nicki has handled it. I'm gonna say prior to this current rollout, I think she's handled things pretty good. You know, she jumped into another situation with you know, other rappers, and you know, she didn't really focus on him. Safaree, on the other hand, has taken the opportunity to do reality TV. Would we know who Safaree was if it wasn't for Nicki Minaj? No, we wouldn't. I mean, let's keep it 100. We would not know who Safaree was if it was not for Nicki Minaj. So let me say that. So people assumed, as Nicki made up with Funk Flex, they had some back and forth that got real disrespectful at one point. They're now on cool terms. Nicki sat down with Funk Flex and hashed out a bunch of things. Now, the allegations, the assumptions of Safaree ghostwriting for Nicki Minaj definitely came up in the conversation with Funk Flex, and she addressed it. She went in. She went in on him. She called up one of the former group members. They were in a group together called the Hood Stars, and so she just randomly calls the guy up and one of the other members and says, you know, didn't nigga Safaree ever write for me? Blah 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 blah. So she just goes in on Safaree. And dude threw Safaree under the bus, randomly calling, and it was entertaining. I'll say that it was entertainment. But Nicki was angry, so she brought up some good points. She said that before there was the reference track video that, you know, went around, that surfaced about Drake. People did not question Drake's writing, his writing ability. There was no question of people writing for him. And Nicki also said that Drake writes for himself and other people. And she said that people submit songs, they cut things, you know, whatever. And it's up. She said that all artists get songs that people do for them and want them to perform these songs. And she says it's up to any individual artist whether they want to do it or not. And I thought that was fair. I thought that was an accurate statement that she made. And she talked about the fact that all the rappers she's been around, Gucci Mane, Wayne, etc., none of them ever wrote for her. She said you can ask any one of them. She always wrote her own shit, and she takes her time and writes. And she was very offended by the ghostwriting rumors. And she said there's no reference track out of some song she did. And she said that just because she was around Safaree and then they broke up, people just assumed that. And so she was, you know, kind of bringing light to the sexist nature of things, the double standards that clearly exist. So I thought that was interesting. And I bring all that up to say, I think that's where this energy is coming from, where Nicki Minaj is at right now. So also, it's about proving herself to people who doubt her and who doubt her ability. I'm going to say she's going to go down as one of the greatest females. Now, you may not like her personally. She may do the voices, or she may have this certain kind of way about it that you don't like. But this lady has been in the game 10 years and touring big tour numbers. Album sales, big album numbers. And why somebody like Cardi B is beloved. A lot of these writing shots could be taken at Cardi B because Cardi B doesn't write her own stuff. Now, how can we, on one hand, raise Cardi B so high when she doesn't write her stuff, and Nicki Minaj, you know, there's a backlash and she clearly writes her own stuff, when other rappers, male rappers, have been alleged to have ghostwriters? That seems to push them down some kind of way. But in this instance, I don't know. So a lot of times people don't like a loud female. People don't like a female that stands up for herself and talks that shit as she was. Now, is she going too far with some of the personal insults? She talked about purchasing some type of hairline surgery for Safaree. Very personal stuff. I don't think that there was any surprise. There was some kind of hairline thing going on with him. But she put a lot of business out there. She talked about Safaree stealing her credit card to buy call girls, prostitutes, as she called them. It was a lot of stuff. Now, it's funny because during interviews, before Nicki was speaking about this, Safaree kind of led the vibe that he was writing, but he lied. In the words of Funk Flex, you lied. He lied. He didn't write shit. If Safaree wrote for Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj was calling him out like this, he would have said, what about when I wrote, did it on him? What about when I did this? What about when I did that? He didn't have no clap back when she addressed him directly. No clap back. In fact, Bow-Legged Lou from Full Force, his son was a member of the group Hood Stars with Nicki Minaj and Safaree. He said that Safaree was the hype man and nobody liked Safaree's raps. If Safaree was such a talented writer, don't you think he'd be able to write some hits for himself? Huh? Think about it. But anyway, with all that being said, Safaree is still living his best life. Because, as I said, we would not know who Safaree is if it were not for Nicki Minaj. Now, I will do a review on her album over the weekend. Not quite ready to do that yet. I need to marinate with the album a little bit more before I give a full review on it. So I don't really want to speak on the music too much, other than I want to say that It's rocking. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a detailed review, just not yet. So I think that Nicki helps Safaree. Safaree helps Nicki. He just does. So is Safaree gonna have platinum albums? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, anything's possible. I just don't know. I just don't know. But we'll see. I guess time will tell whether or not that happens. I just don't see people checking for him. But Safaree says that he has he woke up to a book deal offer for over $500K. Now that could be true. Would people be interested in a Safaree tell-all book? I think they would. I think they would. He also said that he has an endorsement deal for Hair Club for Men, and that was the first offer. He said, "Thank you, baby. Guess I'ma add author to my long list of hustles." That's what he said. Anybody that watches Love and Hip Hop knows that Safaree's mom is kind of one of those hands-on mothers. It's kind of like all in his personal life. Nicki Minaj said that the sister and the mother called Nicki a lazy bitch for wanting to do music. Wonder what they're saying now. They may just be calling her a bitch. Speaking of bitches, you know, I was talking about when people break up, right? Now, I don't have any first-hand information on what I'm getting ready to say. I don't have any first-hand information. But is it me, or does it seem like Trump and Ormarosa used to mess around? Huh? Does it seem like that to you? What exactly did Ormarosa do? I tell you what she did. She did something with Trump. She did something strange for some change. That's why he's so nervous, because I think she was a jump off. I mean, she has literally no reason being in the White House. Now, I'm not saying that she's completely dumb, because she clearly has Trump by the balls. She has a tell-all book coming out. She has been releasing secret tapes of various conversations she's had with people. The latest tape coming out today with Laura Trump, the daughter-in-law of the president. In this current tape, they are offering her $15K a month to basically be quiet. Now, what's ironic about this is that Ormarosa has tapes from 2 years ago. She's been planning this stuff. She has been planning this, and it is coming out now. So she's trying to sell this book, and I, for one, think that this book is going to sell. The former reality TV star is beating Trump at his own game, but different than Stormy Daniels or her attorney Michael Avenatti, Trump is speaking about Ormarosa. It's just a matter of time before something comes out crazy like, you know, what about that time we was fucking? It's gonna come out because it's Trump. He's not gonna be able to hold his tongue too much longer. But the recent tape that came out was, according to Ormarosa, made in December 2017, December 16th to be exact, just days after she left the White House, and it appears to back up all of the claims that she made in her book about receiving an offer from the president's re-election campaign. And she wrote in her book that the job offer came with the condition of signing, here it is, a non-disclosure agreement. So they were trying to pay her to do something that's difficult for her to do. Shut the fuck up. She can't do it. She couldn't do it. She says that Trump is a racist, and all of these revelations came to her. She was so surprised. She didn't know that Trump was a racist. How did she miss that? How did she not get the memo? I have no idea. But she continues to say that this was a surprise to her. What? Trump is a racist? Really? You know, but she's here to do this, and I think that this was in her plan all along. She played him. She's like a younger girl who plays some old dude, and then later on the old dude's like, what? She ran away with my money? What? I thought she loved me. I mean, Trump is really getting bested, and this his whole thing is just a farce. It is a disgrace, and I'll be glad when it's over. But while it's going on, I'm glad to see him dragged in the mud. But I will say this. Ormarosa is playing a very, very dangerous game. I mean, things mysteriously happen to people. I hope that she knows what she's doing, because I wouldn't put anything past this cabinet and this group of people that Trump aligns himself with. If you notice, when he talks about things and people getting treated unfairly, he always goes back to Al Capone or some gangster type person. He always goes back to that for some reason, and that's probably because he admires those people. So I think that she should be very careful in playing this game, because it could get dangerous. Last thing before we get out of here, I would be remiss if I did not mention the passing of the great Aretha Franklin. Passed away today. She had been battling cancer, and there was hope that she would beat this. 76 years old, definitely well-respected songstress. She comes from the old school. She's one of those ladies that could really sing, and a lot of people had a lot of positive things to say about her. Of course, she passed away surrounded by her loved ones, and it definitely brings to mind the passing of my sister, almost a month to the day. So my sister passed away on fateful day in July, and so it is ironic. Very similar situation. She passed from cancer as well, and then she passed away, and all of us were there by the bedside. So that is good. Of course, we hoped that she would recover. But when they said that she was gravely ill, that is exactly what the doctor said about my sister. And then she was put in hospice, and then the same amount of time, Miss Franklin passed away, same way. So I can definitely, relate to what the family's going through. But Miss Franklin had 76 years, and my sister had a lot less. But I'm not trying to make this about me, so let's continue. But definitely Aretha Franklin, 18 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award. She definitely put it down. A lot of fans, artists, just famous people and regular people giving their props to the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. So definitely want her to, she will be remembered for the great music that she did, and she wore that big hat. She did a big hat during President Obama's inauguration. And another funny fact about Aretha Franklin: she carried her purse on stage many times, because she's from the old school, and you leave your purse in the back. She said niggas was going through her purse. So definitely rest in peace to a legend. Of course, I will be back here tomorrow to talk some top stories of the day, as always. Of course, advertising information, hit up hrrecords410@gmail.com. Also, don't forget about the Labor Day All Mix Weekend going down here on RadioOnFire.com, September the 1st through September the 3rd. You can listen all weekend long. We're going to have guest DJs in the building, guest hosts in the building. I'm going to be on the turntables. A lot of other people are going to announce the lineup next week. So, for everybody here at RadioOnFire.com, I will see you guys